Hi everyone, I'm here with Rick from Leapmotor, and I'm in front of the Leapmotor B10, which I think is the most interesting car at the Sydney International EV Motor Show. And why do I say that? I think it's because it's the best value for money. I'm always about value for money. We're in a cost of living crisis in Australia, and I think it's really great that Leapmotor is bringing out more affordable cars for normal Australians to buy. I think the base model, what's the name of the base model, Rick?
That's our style.
Yep, that's the style. And then there's the extended range with a few more creature comforts. That is the design long range.
Yes, Design LR stands for long range
Yep.
with an increased battery pack and greater EV range.
Yeah. But honestly, I reckon if you want a second car and you're interested in this is really worth considering. I think it's got a lot of advantages over some of its Chinese manufactured competitors.
Please contribute. It really helps my independent, honest journalism for you.
Especially things like charging rate, 11 kilowatt AC for both base and the higher range model, and well over 100 kilowatts DC. I think 160-ish for
168 kilowatts DC
168
charging.
for the top range. I'll put the exact specs on screen. That make it over double the charging rate on the highway charger of, say, a BYD Atto 3. And that means your family will not be annoyed at you and you can keep moving and driving onwards on your holiday. Okay, so what about the price? I've been mentioning that it's good value. $38,990 for the base model, and that's not with dealer delivery added. That's drive away, right, Rick?
Yes, all included in either white or our stunning Starry Night blue color.
Yeah, so that's an interesting point. So the blue metallic paint color is included at no extra cost for both models in the drive away price during the promotional period. Are there any other sort of accessory inclusions just for people at the show who express interest?
Yeah, certainly we have a special show offer. So for our top prospects, we're offering a free wall box, a 7 kilowatt AC charger.
Just hardware only?
Yes, hardware installation will be at a separate expense for the customer, depending on their individual setups. Yes.
Yep. Well, that's worth $700, $800, $1,000 depending on the specifications. So that's pretty good. And what kind of cables does the car come with? Do people need to buy them separately?
Yeah, so actually one of our advantages is with both Leapmotor products we have behind us, we offer a Mode 2 and Mode 3 cable standard.
Right,
Standard
so
fit.
that's a normal 240 volt socket and then a sort of more medium speed Type 2 charging cable, the kind that you see at a supermarket shopping center like Marrickville Metro, or often on curbsides in the city, in different cities. Sydney's got plenty. Melbourne is getting a lot of Type 2 chargers like that as well. Yep, cool. So let's talk about software, because these cars are basically super advanced computers on wheels these days. Something that people will want to know, does it come with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto functionality enabled in the car already, or is it coming via a software update?
Yeah, so I guess the beauty of computer on wheels and rolling over-the-air updates is that we can add functionalities into these vehicles even after the customer's taken delivery and they've been driving it for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, a couple of years.
Yeah, so actually, speaking of which, when I borrowed the Leapmotor C10, I actually got a software update in the middle of that Media Loan car review, and it improved the handling and sort of some of the safety features. So yeah, I can confirm that they are updating their cars. It would be good if there was a listing of updates on the Leapmotor website so people can see how the car has improved over time, but that's something for you to consider. Besides the Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, which I think you told me earlier, perhaps first few months of 2026, maybe January is when it'll come, but it's definitely hardware capable.
Yes, the hardware's there and the software will come via an over-the-air update early in 2026.
Yeah, my understanding is, talking with a lot of manufacturers, the reason why Android Auto and CarPlay aren't in the cars as standard from day one quite often is because in China they use completely different systems for they might have an Oppo phone and they use Oppo system software or something else altogether, or Huawei or something else. So they need to add CarPlay and Android Auto for us, Western markets and other places in the world. Is that basically correct?
That's a fair summation.
Yeah.
So yes, the Western countries are very akin to technologies like Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. China, not so much.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have a tendency to be requesting these features, and they get rolled out pretty timely.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, via an OTA.
And something else, in terms of software alerts, and there are things that have to be part of every electric car sold in Australia. From memory, November 1, I think all electric cars now, even if they didn't have in previous models, have to have a low-speed pedestrian warning, which I'm sure these do. Other things that people will see is there'll be a driver distraction warning, but all of these things can be tuned in your system. And there's a customization button, I'm told, to make people who can make it more strict or, fitting their needs.
Yeah, certainly. So the C10 already has a steering wheel customization button where you can sort of tweak some of the ADAS settings. And that feature will also be getting added to the B10 via the same update that houses the Apple CarPlay. And
right at the moment, but it will basically save a profile of everything that you've said. I want this to be more, this to be less, this to stay the same. And then you press the button when you get in the car and it'll keep it as you did last time?
The customer will be required, or the driver will be required, to push the button at the recommencement of each journey.
Yep.
But as long as you're in the habit of just you push the button.
Yeah, one button,
it'll
not
default,
10 menus.
Yeah. Correct. And
That's good.
and you can customize the ADAS within reason. So we still want to keep all ADR compliances in place, and also our compliance with a 5-star ANCAP safety rating.
Of course.
Which this vehicle should achieve by the end of 2025 as well.
Okay, nice. Okay, Rick, so what about the powertrain? Is the base model sort of much slower than the Design LR?
No, although the Design Long Range features a greater capacity high voltage battery, the powertrain setup is identical.
Okay.
So 160 kilowatts, rear wheel drive.
That's really good. Rear wheel drive, for people who are unfamiliar with it, is quite rare in cars, electric cars at this price point. It means a much more agile and nicer handling experience, especially going around corners, twisty roads. It's a bit more fun to drive if you want a driver's car. It looks like this, subject to test drive, which I haven't done yet, could be more fun to drive than some of its competitors, again, like the Atto 3, which are front wheel drive. What about in terms of range? What are we looking at for WLTP range?
Yeah, so on our entry-level style trim, we've got a 361 kilometer WLTP range. Stepping up to our Design Long Range variant with the larger capacity battery, we've got 434 kilometers of range.
Okay. Now, for people unfamiliar, WLTP is a testing protocol, and it's a mixture of city driving and highway driving. But realistically, both of these cars are perfectly fine as a second car runabout. If you're going on longer day trips very often, or your relatives might live 150, 200 kilometers away from where you are and you visit them quite often, then it might be worth considering the Design LR instead for $3,000 more at the moment. What about in terms of warranty? Because people are interested in warranty. People can get servicing at all Stellantis dealers across Australia.
So not all Stellantis dealers, but we do have 16 Leapmotor branded dealers that are available nationally.
Right.
So where you buy the car from is where you'll return to service.
Right.
And in regards to your question around warranty, all Leapmotor products in Australia are backed by the Leapmotor Care package, which is a 6888 package. So 6 years vehicle chassis warranty, 8 years high voltage battery warranty, 8 years roadside assist, and 8 years of cap price servicing.
Okay. Cap price servicing, like actually capped if there's inflation and the prices won't go up in 5 years? It'll be what's advertised today?
Yes, what's advertised today when the customer makes their purchase is what they'll pay for the following 8 services.
Okay, that's
the
pretty
service
good.
price does fluctuate depending on whether it's a minor or major service.
Yeah, it usually has a sort of a tick-tock, most EVs. Low price, higher price, depending on how much work needs to be done at each service. What if someone moves though? They don't literally have to go to the same Leapmotor dealer. They could go to a different one instead?
Yeah, great question. So they can return back to any of the Leapmotor service outlets across Australia.
Okay, or while they're on holiday, they might need something checked. They could do that as well.
Yeah, certainly.
Okay, that's pretty awesome. Is there a kilometer limit for any of those warranties?
Yeah, so the 6-year vehicle warranty is 150,000 kilometers. The
Yeah.
8-year high voltage battery warranty is 160,000 kilometers, and the service intervals are 20,000 kilometers or 12 months, whichever occurs first.
Okay. One thing that I really like using on all the electric cars that I test is a 360 camera. And I wish all of them had a built-in dash cam so I didn't have to stick a dash cam onto the center of the glass. Does this have a 360 camera, the Design Long Range?
Yes, it's got a 360 camera included on as standard for both our style and design long range.
Okay, so a base model as well.
Yeah.
And what about the built-in dash cam functionality?
Yeah, it's an integrated 360 dash cam as well on both our entry level and top of the range design.
Right.
Design
So once the car boots up and is in drive mode, it'll start recording?
As long as the car's powered on, it will be recording.
Yep.
And including when you're driving, it will
Sure.
make sort of like 3-minute rolling videos, and it will
Okay.
record directly to either a USB-A or USB-C
Right.
that the customer can sort of insert
Yep.
and take with them and put back into the computer.
Do you know what the limit for the files, the sort of USB stick or USB drive is? And if Rick's not aware, then I can always put it on screen at a later date, because people might want to save a lot of footage if they're an Uber driver, for argument's sake.
Yeah, for sure. So look, I've tested using a 64 gigabyte USB stick, and I believe it will also work with 128 gig. I don't have any USB sticks that go higher than that, so I haven't tested, but
Cool.
as long as it's a FAT32 format, it should be compatible with all sizes.
Okay. And in terms of moving up from the base to the Design Long Range, besides the extra driving range, what other kinds of features do you get?
Yeah, sure. So we've got our entry-level style at 38,990, and for only $3,000 more, 41,990, you're going to get a whole lot of extra kit. It's the bigger battery, the longer driving range, but it's also the plusher seating, the power seating. It's the interior ambient lighting, which sort of dances with your music if you wish for it to.
Fair enough.
Heated steering wheel, heated and ventilated front seats, rear privacy glass, a power tailgate, and 12 speakers over 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good point. Mentioning the tailgate, I forgot to say there appears to be a dual level boot floor. So you can have a flat loading lip or duck it down to get a bit more storage space.
Yeah, exactly right. Dual layer boot flooring system, and it's perfect for tucking away anything that you don't want to be seen. For example, maybe your 2 charging cables, they just go under the second layer and with an option to expand.
Sure. So I noticed there was a frunk in this car, but it's not in the specifications. I'm assuming that's an engineering test part that was left in there.
Yeah, you're right. The car doesn't come standard with a frunk at the moment. The frunk that everyone's been noticing on this particular car is just an accessory that's under consideration for the not too distant future.
Sure, because obviously the car's been tested to pass certain safety protocols, and it's unclear, I guess, whether adding a frunk would mean some kinds of tests would have to be done again because the frunk is in the front crumple zone. But obviously that's up to safety regulators and Stellantis to decide. By default, no frunk. Okay, cheers.
Hey, thanks so much.
No worries.
Thanks for liking, subscribing, and sharing my videos. It really helps me make more videos like this for you. And have a look at the suggested videos up above. I'm pretty sure you'll like those as well. Thanks, and see you later.